so stream should be up and running. Just give me a moment to check. Just want to make sure this stream is actually running at the moment. Just mute that. Okay, cool. So we are all here. Welcome to this stream. I just want to make sure this stream is actually. Okay, that's much better. So welcome to the stream. Just give me a moment. Just want to quickly do something. Feel. Okay, sorry, just making sure of some stuff before, which I should have probably done before starting this stream, but live and let live. Okay. Dope. Okay then, so welcome to the stream. So what I'm going to be doing in the stream is basically ranking each and every Yu-Gi-Oh archetype here from this list. I decided to go alphabetic. Not all of these archetypes will be relevant because some of them are still manga and are only presented in the manga and anime. So they won't unfortunately be that won't be that easy to rank if I actually do decide to do them. But yeah, and also one other thing, for example, the Atignyster and AI, for example, these are basically tied in together and will come in as one. So just another thing before we start is this is basically how it is all going to be ranked. It is going to be, we're going to be taking a look at the overall archetype speed, the archetype's power, uniqueness, the mechanic, the oppressiveness, consistency, and overall support. So, as you probably saw the title of it, it is called the Dimension format, which is a format I am trying to get sorted, or trying to create and try to give it some steam. Basically, the format revolves around basically working on pure archetypes or on lore. And some decks, pure archetypes, are much stronger than others because they have much more support, as I said earlier. Well, actually, I didn't say it earlier, but they just have much more support. Or they just, their overall mechanic is much more powerful. Because Ignyster and Abyss Actor, while they're both strong, let's say Atignyster versus Chrysalis, which I think is a bit weak, in my opinion, from my understanding. It's a bit too slow to play, and it's a bit of a dated mechanic. But yeah. Also, I do want to point out I will be looking at both Duel Links, but I'll be going through their boxes instead because I think I am a bit caught up with Duel Links. I'm recently their site isn't actually caught up, which is the fun. Nope, there it is. Yeah, their site is caught up. We'll just be going upwards, and I basically know a lot of the cards that are involved. And if I don't know an archetype, then we'll just have to look it up together. I'll also be uploading this as on YouTube as well under the channel Danker Angst after streaming, but just give me a bit of time to upload it. Of course, this won't be through one sit through because there are tons of decks to say the least. And just to go through all of them at once will just be basically impossible. Or through one sitting will just be a nightmare because I'll become more and more inaccurate as time goes on and the more tired I am. So, let us get started. And the first archetype we're going to be taking a look at is Assault Mode. So through here, I'm just going to add a chair as well. So, from my understanding, Assault Mode it's more of a sub-archetype because you can't really play on its own unless you include other archetypes. For example, you have Assault Mode, I believe Stardust Dragon, as well as Red Dragon Archfiend. And so yeah, Assault Mode in the Japanese version, Nomi effect monsters that are powered up versions of already existing synchros. So you can't really make this an archetype, it's more of support. So in the Dimension formats, it's not really for mixing, but because it is directly related, it can be mixed. I'm gonna have to create a separate document or something just to to outline the rules more perfectly. But if you were to make a Stardust deck, this would actually be allowed because assault mode is basically support for Stardust Dragon. Assault mode exists in there, and it is support for Stardust and so on. So to be quite honest with you, this is kind of impossible to make a pure archetype of. Again, it is, as I said, a support archetype. That's just how I am going to do it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea actually, to just define one as a pure archetype, which can basically be run on its own without much support, and basically can run on its own. Again, I'm going to be using this example quite a lot, but Stardust on its own can be made an archetype. But assault mode archetype is, again, you can't really make a pure assault mode deck, because you're going to have to include Stardust, but it can be, it is linked through Stardust assault mode. Again, have to go to define rules, so I'm just going to categorize this as a support archetype. Okay, fantastic. So that is the first one, and if I remember correctly, the next one should be at Igniter. If I'm correct, Duel Links doesn't actually have that many assault mode cards, or it does, but it's not really, for some reason, doesn't feel as prevalent, because I don't think, hold on, wait, let me just check. Duel Links meta. Duel Links meta is, so Duel Links meta, if I am correct, there's not that many Stardust assault mode in there. So, yeah, basically, assault mode. So, there's quite a lot of assault cards, but it's not entirely in Duel Links. Again, it is a support archetype, so I can't really give it a fair judgment in terms of making it its own pure archetype, because to somehow make this even a viable deck, you're going to have to include monsters from other archetypes, like TG Halberd from the TG archetype, Red Dragon Archfiend, Stardust Assault Mode. Yeah, you can't so yeah, no, I definitely categorize this under just support. Again, I should probably warn you, this is one of my first streams where I'm actually being, this is one of my first streams, so I am going to be pretty rough around the edges. So, next up is one of my favorite personally, Ad Igniter. So, this isn't in Duel Links yet, so I don't really need to add a category for it. But under Master Duel, I do know how this deck works. It is pretty good. From my understanding, you can basically add all of them to get. You can just make a pure Ad Igniter deck with very little generic cards required just to improve consistency. And also, one of the things is, it also ties in with the Eye archetype. Yeah, so this is the Eyes archetype is a support archetype. So I'm just gonna add that underneath. Supported by Eye. Oh, love this archetype. It's one of the few archetypes that actually have a boss mod. What is it? It has a new, the only Link 6, but ever since the new pack, Cyberstorm Access, which is also adding its new rank 6, another Link 6 monster, which is Firewall Dragon Singularity, which is quite honestly exciting for me, because I do like Links, and I do like Ad Igniter, and what makes it even better is that Ai's rival, I believe, no, Yusaku is the main rival of Ai. Basically, they are counterparts of one another, and it just makes it so beautiful. But let's check it out. So now let's begin with the first ranking. So I feel like the first one's gonna be a bit of a tricky start, but it should get easier as I go on. So overall, before we get started with the ranking, you can just take a moment to pause and just take a quick look at it. But it is going to be ranked from 1 to 10. For example, power, just the overall end board. Like, some end boards are pretty powerful, whereas some are just extremely weak with 0 protection and such. And this is looking at their potential, as stated here. So, 1 is just Yamcha level. Yeah, you should. I don't know if you all are acquainted with Dragon Ball Z, but Yamcha, in my opinion, is pretty weak. And then what I want to be on the other side of that is basically you just don't want to mess with that. So, to be quite honest with you, let's first look at the speed. So, from my understanding, this card has a couple of good starters in all honesty. If I just want to make sure I remember all the monsters that are there. I think Picari, which is a good starter which allows you to search any spell card, as well as, no, not Hiyari, definitely not Hiyari. It is Achichi. So these two cards are good starters, so that's 6 out of 40 already. And also, with the Eye archetype, there is also the card, let me see, I Meet You, I believe. I Meet You, which is a good searcher, in all honesty, for the deck. So that's already 9 out of 40, already 25% of this card consists of good searcher. And if I'm to go with the dimension format which I am trying to work on the format or looking at, in terms of 5 generic cards, so 5 that would mean 15, but I'm thinking more of just 5 in general. Like you can only have 3 of this plus 2 other cards, and such. Not 5 different cards with 3 copies max. Again, that is liable to change depending on how this format goes, and if it does pick up, and if people do have problems, obviously it'll be adjusted to just be a bit more fair to other decks. Or maybe it'll be on a case of it's specific decks where you can just where for some specific decks they'll be given leeway, but that will just be more complicated than anything else. So let's see. Okay, cool. So just want to make sure that the stream is still up and running. Quick. Fantastic. So this card already with I Meet You, Achichi, and Picari Adigneister, and also including the card Cybernet Mining. I'm sure they will actually just reference it here because I do actually use this sometimes to just read on cards I'm interested in. Recommended cards. Yes, Cybernet Mining. Cybernet Mining already. So this is a pretty consistent deck in my opinion, but honestly, it's not so consistent that every hand is a good hand. For example, if you do not have one of these cards, again, just going off the rule of, these cards, 3, 6, 9, 12. And also, we're going to just make another assumption. I just want to just check out the levels. I don't think, no. I was going to say 1 for 1, but these aren't level 1s. So let me see. Also, Doyon, I believe, is a good... Doyon Adigneister. So, to categorize this, you can send any one. If this card is normal, you can target one Adigneister, add it to your hand. No, it's more of an extender. So, if I were to add this, also there is another card that I do know. It's Eyelash, I believe. I just want to look for it real quick. Fighting, Compromise, Idol Reborn, Eye Show, Eyes Ritual, Eyes Heim, Eyeshadow, that's the one. Yes, Eyeshadow. It's a bit of... No, not Eyeshadow. What am I doing? Eye Contact. Sorry, Eye Contact. Basically, if Ignister AI land is in your field zone, reveal one Ignister AI land in your hand, place it in the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw 3 cards. Again, this would be a... What is it? It would be played at 1 or 2 at most, because it is... If you don't open with 2 Ignister AI lands, or if you don't open with an Ignister monster plus an island as well, then you can't really use it. So it is a very situational card. So overall, I'd consider this deck to have a sort of okay-ish consistency. So working off, just gonna work off these because at least these are not too, these aren't too situational, rather. They are good starters. And again, the reason why in case you don't know about the Ignister archetype, a lot of people, I don't know if everyone does this, but for me personally, to play Ignister properly, I'm pretty sure Ignister players do this. You start off with Dark Infant at Ignister, who is a link 1, and automatically adds Ignister Island to your hand. I believe this is only once per turn, a hard once per turn, on each of its effects. So again, that could work. And that's why I'm saying a Chi-Chi or a Pikari is just a fantastic one-card starter. But then also, all the other cards are good one-turn starters as well. So that's what makes this a bit more tricky. Because you can also use Danmari and such. With Danmari, I just want to make sure some of these cards' names, it's just... No, definitely not Danmari, no. Bururu, yes, this one. Because let's say you just have a normal, let's say you have both Doyon and Bururu, then you can just special normal summon Doyon at Ignister or Bururu to send a good send Bururu, mill it to the deck, mill any card to the graveyard, and then also just then you go into Dark Infants at Ignister, add Island, activate Island's effect. And then just special summon this card over here, and then you can just add another monster to your hand. And since you didn't special summon Bururu using Island's effect, you can special summon, go into Link 2, and so on. It goes on from there. So to be quite honest, this deck, in my opinion, is quite consistent. Actually, the more I think about it. So if I had to go based on hands, then I would basically give it maybe a, again, this is just ranking it off of mathematics in my head, which is hopefully not that bad. So I would maybe go over, oh yes, and one last thing, before we continue, you might think, what about Maxi and all that jazz? To be honest, I don't want to look at hand traps or those kind of cards. I want to look at the pure archetypes on their own. Again, me adding Signet Mining is a bit cheaty, but with the dimension formats, I'm basically trying to also just cut out as many hand traps as possible, as well as Maxi is, again, situational because, first of all, you have to be given that you're going second, and having Maxi in your hand, and then finally, it's just not getting negated. So that's why I'm just looking at pure archetype, assuming the other person doesn't have a hand trap in their hand. So at Ignister, assuming the rule about generic cards at 3. So I would maybe give this a consistency of about 7. Like, it is pretty good, its consistency. However, it can be pretty ass, depending on your hand. So, okay, now the power for the overall power of the deck. So this deck is mainly a how do I say it? It's a link deck. It's most of its power lies within its link monsters in its deck, and the archetype. Let's see, at Ignister, it has all of these, with its big monster being the Arrival Cybers, which for a while until Firewall Dragon Singularity was only link 6, basically control only 1, attack is 1000 times the number of materials used to link summon this card, and is unaffected, and you can target one other monster on the field, destroy it, special summon one, ignite the token. So this is a pretty good boss monster, but if it was against Kaijus, it would definitely lose. Its board is powerful. I just want to check its check quickly its what is it? Its defense, rather. Okay, this card hasn't come to Duel Links just to the TCG or OCG in general, so that's kind of a bummer. Might come to Duel Links because they have added actual anime cards that aren't even out in the TCG, so it's a bit hard to say. But again, can't do it here because it isn't in Duel Links. So this card over here is an extender, and basically it helps to just destroy the opponent by special summoning more monsters, and is good for turn 2. This card helps with removing just overall traps. spells and traps, and is also its secondary effect to banish and shuffle is pretty good. Protection, just monster removal with non-destruction monster removal. However, it does target. So, however, not a lot of monsters are untargetable if I'm correct. But you'll just have to see. But so far, this is pretty good. But again, it is not a quick effect. And it said if another card by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, okay, this is a response, so it is good, pretty good protection to just go against your opponent. Light Dragon at Igniter, F would be destroyed by card effect. So target, what is it? Destruction. What is it? Effect destruction. You can attach one material, destroy face-up monsters. So yeah, it's pretty good board wipe, and it can become a quick board wipe. You can special summon one link monster. This card over here is actually pretty good because if you you don't actually have to how do I say it? Let me see. It just converts it to during damage calculation. You can inflict equal to this card's attack, and if you do, your opponent takes no battle damage from the battle. This card is destroyed by card effect. Okay. I haven't actually versed the monster yet. I don't know if it actually has target protection against that really. If it does it still apply? I think it still applies it actually, but I still need to just check that out. If it still applies the effect damage. So then there's Earth Golem at Igniter, and then there's Water Leviathan, which is a lot of these monsters. What I'm noticing is that they're meant for your turn because they don't really respond that much to your opponents as well. So you can toggle one fate, return all link monsters from your graveyard to your extra deck, and if you do, change the toggle monsters. Okay, not bad. Rival Igniter is just, yeah, it's gonna be, if you're relying on effects to destroy that thing, then good luck, because that is basically a wall. So let's just check, because at Igniter also, I'm not sure, its protection is, from my understanding, it should be pretty weak. I just want to check its weaknesses, and they don't list it here, which is kind of a shame, because that would have saved me a lot of work. Let's see, eye contact. No, not the eye archetype. No, this is the eye archetype. Tie Strike is good. Destruction immunity. Basically allows for protection. Fighting Spirits, I believe, as well. No, wait. I think I got them mixed around. So, your control would be destroyed. You can banish this card. It's card advantage. You can ignite someone to 2000. Okay, yeah. Good battle destruction immunity. And this one also battle destruct. Okay, so I was right. Fighting Spirits is just what I looked at. What is going on with me? Compromise. Some of these cards aren't actually added. For example, this one. So it is a bit of a Idol Reborn is basically this archetypes built in Monster Reborn. Then iShow is if this is I never actually got a chance to use this card. Although I've read its effect a couple of times, and it is pretty good, actually. Although, again, it is, yeah. It is, again, one of the... It is very situational. Or depends on your opponent's not destroying that card. I love Fusion, basically allowing you to use your opponent's card. So, you can also use one Link monster. Oh, so non-targeting removal, which is fantastic nonetheless. I Ritual, I Mine. Oh yes, this card would have been amazing for consistency, but it's not added yet. Oh damn. Some of these cards, IQ also I believe, Compromise, Fighting Spirit. There is another card that I know of. Idol Reborn, Compromise, Ignites the AI Land. I think it's UNI. It's a spell card. While summoning, yeah, this negates the effects until the end of this turn. If you manage to special summon during your turn, I believe you have IP Masquerena to do that. It is a form of protection, but yeah, maybe I should add that to the list because overall protection rather. Oppressiveness, I didn't actually add that now that I think. Okay, yeah, no, this the mechanic of this deck is a 4 because it's just a link deck. It's not really unique. Again, when we get into unique, I'll just go deeper into this, but maybe I should just add to, yeah, maybe I'll just make it protection instead. Also, protection slash oppressiveness. So overall, in terms of oppressiveness, it can clear your opponent's board if it can get both Wind Pegasus as well as Light Dragon out on the field, and it depends on the monsters on the other side. But protection is pretty weak, in all honesty. So while it can destroy your field on their turn, it doesn't really stop the other player from playing, and also it isn't actually too bad. It can actually destroy in terms of the end board. So I'm just gonna quickly just change this then to oppressive slash protection. Again, this is open to change these rankings and listings. But I would say that on its end board, even though it doesn't have much protection, and its only protection from my understanding is, let me see, the Arrival at Igneister, I would say that if you do manage to get it, let's see, at best you can get six cards. So this card can become 6,000, and getting a card over 6,000, especially for some archetypes, is quite difficult. And you can't really out it with effects. So if you can't really go over that barrier, let's say at most I think people go up to 4,000. So if you can't get a monster that's above 4,000, then yeah, it's kind of going to be difficult. But it's not impossible to break this board. Because again, there are ways to play around it, and because this doesn't really negate effect damage, nor does it negate direct attacks. And you can't, it doesn't really stop you from using tributing it. I don't know if it's immune to super polymerization actually. Although super polymerization is, I think it's not really immune to it, so fusion decks should survive. So I would give this a proper, let's see, I would give it an 8, because basically it's strong, don't get me wrong, it can wipe, it's not too impossible for it to field wipe, but it's also not impossible to break that board. Uniqueness slash of the mechanic. So its mechanic, from my understanding, it just revolves, or it's like playmakers from the anime, or code talkers. It's all about link summoning this deck. And once it link summons, it just pops. So link and pop. Okay, that sounded a bit weird. But yeah, swarming and beatdown strategies. But the thing, what makes this interesting is that it also uses Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz. RIP Pendulum. I am a Pendulum guy, unfortunately. So I would just have to say that this archetype is, as much as I like playing this archetype, its mechanic isn't really too unique. So, but it does do it decently at least. So that I would just give it a 4. It's oppressiveness slash protection. Doesn't have much protection from my understanding, because you do need to do some work to just get some form of decent protection, in terms of you need to get Light Dragon out, as well as Light Dragon, and it spells let me see, it spells Fighting Spirit and Tie Strike do prevent battle damage, and Light Dragon does prevent destruction through destruction through a card effect. Shit, I really hope, just double checking it again. Yeah, card effect. So, but it doesn't prevent removal through non-destruction. For example, it can be destroyed. If it was going against Tri Brigade, there is absolutely zero protection against what is it called? Banishing. Although I just want to check you and I. So these effects based on the attribute on the field. Is this until the end of the turn? No, it's until the end of the turn. So yeah, unless you're planning to somehow link summon with IP Masquerena, this archetype on its own doesn't really serve much protection, in all honesty. And its board can be, it's not really that oppressive. It doesn't really have that much interaction, from my understanding. It only can maybe save you from, again, just a couple destruction, but it can be removed. So overall, I'd give this also a 4. Now, its consistency was what I talked about earlier. And I think I already went through the speed of it searching around its deck. So I think I am going to leave it at that speed because adding Neister, Light Dragon, you can attach one, destroy face-up monster. Yes. So to get the cards it needs, it's not too impossible, in all honesty, because you can just have a Picari or a Achichi, and then you can already search any card you want. And also with Dark Infant, the one card you would really, really want to work with or have on your side is, let me see, it is Ignite the Island. And I don't think you really want to have Ignite the Island in your hand, nor do you want Eye Contact in your hand because they are effectively dead. You'd want more of the monsters on your hand. Or if not the monsters, you'd at least want Idol Reborn, which can give a bit of a saving grace, or a I Meet You. So overall, I'd put this with the consistency of if you have the right cards, it is good, and it can start off because any of the monsters are already a one-turn starter. So I'd have to admit this deck, in my opinion, it can be pretty consistent at times, although it still has some flaws. And the overall support it has received, basically having a support archetype already, I'd already consider it above a 5 if it already has its own support archetype. And by how much it already, by the amount of support it has, I would actually say it's been getting a fair amount of support already. So I'd maybe put its overall support also at an 8. So yeah, fantastic. That is the first deck. Oh damn! If all of them go this slow, this is gonna take forever. I should also tell you before continuing with the next one. Ooh, okay. So already this is already cutting some of them out for me. Oh, okay. I didn't scroll down all the way. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do one column. So let's see. I am going to at one point create a condensed version of this, but I'm gonna upload this on YouTube as I think I already said. Create a condensed version with all of these, just super cuts, and I don't know how long that video is going to be, but damn, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm just going to do one column today, or until it reaches 4 o'clock, because unfortunately in my country, load shedding is a bit of a bastard. Next up is another fan favorite of mine, is Abyss Actor. So, let's see, I just want to see Abyss Actor. Fantastic. So, let's see, window capture 2. Okay then. Abyss Actor. Yeah, sorry, let me just do this again. First time streaming, unfortunately. Abyss Actor. Okay, just close this down here. Okay then. So, if you can't see, this is the current listing for the assault, for Ignite, for the archetypes. I already added one as a salt, but that's more of a support archetype, and to Igniter, but I put it as support to the AI. I'm just doing this so that it is easier to just look at it. So, next up is the Abyss Actor. So, Abyss Actor, for those who don't know, is, well, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you already know, but just for those who don't, it is a pendulum deck. Now, if you follow Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I do, pendulums aren't really that loved. Although, it's a bit of a hit or miss kind of thing. Konami just doesn't, they do still give support, although people are saying it's a bit of a dead mechanic, but again, I really do love Abyss Actors, because I do consider them quite fun, especially when you get the hang of them. Okay, so let me just get the sub-archetypes. So they have Abyss Costume as well as a Abyss Script, although Abyss Costume is something that I haven't heard of before. So let's see, overall support, Abyss Actor, supported by Abyss Script / Um, Costume, just for ease. Fantastic. So, let's get in this. Oh, okay, let's get started. So, Abyss Actor is mainly based on this. Abyss Costume, as I said, just supports Abyss Actor as well as Abyss Script. So, again, as I said before, this is just a pendulum type. And what makes this archetype, I think, more unique is its effects for the spells that are in the archetype for Abyss Scripts. Because the normal spells, like when you just activate them from your hand, they can give you okay effects, which are pretty good. But the best effects are when they are destroyed. That is the better part. Because, let's see, there is one. Basically, if you have an Abyss monster in your pendulum zone, as well as an Abyss monster face up in your extra deck, and this said card is destroyed, you can then activate the cards in these columns, which are much better sometimes than all of these. However, it's again a bit of a hit or miss kind of thing. So, for example, Abyss Script Opening Ceremony, its basic effect is gain 500 life points for each Abyss active monster you control. And then if the set card in its owner's controls, and then this is its better effect. If the set card in its owner's control is destroyed by its opponent's card effect, and you have a face-up Abyss active pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, which is, to be quite honest, really good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially if you, how do I say it? If you have 0 cards in your hand, you automatically get a refill. It's like it's a +5 or +4. It's not really easy to go neutral. Okay, so I just want to quickly take a look before we get into this, because this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I'm sure this is in the TCG, and these cards are actual ass. So we are going back to this instead, because this is at least more fun to look at. So, now then, let's get started by looking at each of the criteria for this deck. Because I have played around it, I am familiar with the deck, and it has received support over time. So, let me just swap menus real quick. Fantastic. Again, this is also in Duel Links, as you can see, as it is in the, just looking for the box specifically, it is in a mini box, and that box is Idea of Armageddon. That's as far as I understand. Idea of Armageddon is not the box. Hold on, wait. Damn, which box was it in? Because... No, Force of Infinity, apologies. Force of Infinity should... Yes, Force of Infinity gave its only support. And also there are some level up rewards for the deck. So, Abyss Actor. Voila! It has received some support, although it's missing some fantastic cards. For example, the 1-card starter, Abyss Actor Hyper Director, as well as Abyss Actor Extras, which is a bit of a consistency booster. This card over here is also a level up reward, which is a fantastic card, because using its effect, where you basically swap this card each turn, you give control of it to your opponent, and also your opponent gives it back to you. And then this card also just destroys one set spell card when it's given back to you. And this is also counted as your opponent destroying your card. Therefore, you can activate one of these effects if you have Funky Comedian. However, it is only at 1 in Duel Links. So, yeah, I wouldn't really rely on it, and it's really easy to out this monster. Because they might use it for... I don't know, it doesn't lock you, I believe. So they can use it as material for Link, or for Synchro, or even Xyz. Even Fusion if they have the right cards. But yeah, I wouldn't really rely on that too much. So, overall, let's see. It's, okay, let's go. So, Abyss Actor, its speed from time to time can be, how do I say it? it is fast, but it can also be slow at times. So I would rather just make this a... It's a bit hard to think about this deck. Because, again, I'm not a true fan, so I'm just going... I don't really main this deck or play it all the time. But I do know that Wild Hope just makes Pendulum Summoning much easier. Mallow Madonna is a good searcher at the cost of 1000. And Hyper Director is also fantastic at searching. In Duel Links, it's consistently takes a bit of a hit because you then have to use a skill also to just help you with this. Hyper Director, if you special summon it, you can target one card in your Pendulum Zone, special summon, then place one Abyss Actor, Pendulum Monster, a different name from your deck, or face up extra deck to your Pendulum Zone, and it then locks you into Abyss Actor. But again, this is pure, so it doesn't really bother. So then you can tribute this card, place one Abyss Active Pendulum Monster from your deck in your Pendulum Zone. So this card is already a one card starter because you can just add it to the extra. You can just place it in your Pendulum Zone, tribute it, add Mallow Madonna, activate Mallow Madonna's effect, and then get whichever card you wish. So another card which is also good but is very requires your opponent destroying it, I believe. Especially by effect, is Sassy Rookie, but unfortunately it needs to be destroyed by a card effect or battle. And if this card is destroyed by battle, so if you you can't really just activate on your own by destroying your own cards. So yeah, I wouldn't really rely on this being a searcher. Unless, especially in Duel Links, as they don't have a main phase 2, so yeah, but it is a good stall card in all honesty. So Mallow Madonna at 3, that's already 3 out of 40 cards, which are fantastic. And then, let me see, if you have any for level 4, actually. I just want to see what's the conditions for getting Hyper Director. So, okay, so Hyper Director actually is a fantastic card because it is a one card. Basically, any level 4 lower card is a one card starter for you. Because if I'm correct, Abyss, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card. So I would, but just it getting around its own deck is a bit tricky. I don't know, I have played with this, and if you don't have 3 of this and 3 of the other cards, in Duel Links especially, it's not really that fast for my opinion. I just want to check Sassy Rook, not Wild Hope, I believe. Yes, Wild Hope. On turn, you can make this card. You can add one Abyss Actor. Okay. So if you destroy it by your own card effect, it should help. But again, not looking at that. I would make this... I would give it a bit of a 5 because I'm not really sure how well it is at searching. But I do know, I have played with it a couple of times. And the search options, in my opinion, aren't really that great. Feel free to argue with me in all honesty. So, I would give it a 5. Although, again, this is liable to change the more I read up on a deck. I will just have to check it out a bit more later on out of stream. So then power... Let's see. Okay, so in terms of power, this deck has some fantastic cards. Where I believe Abyss Actor... Let me just go to him. Abyss Actor... Oh, did they not actually show the archetypes anymore here? Because that was... Oh, no, sorry, it's been a while since I used this. So, Abyss Actor, let me see, Abyss Actor Superstar. He is a fantastic searcher for your spells. And one of the spells I believe most go for in case of destroying cards is, let's see, Abyss-tainment, no, not Abyss-tainment, no, Rise of the Abyss King. And if you want to destroy your opponent's extra deck, although not many people I believe do that, is Fire Dragon's Lair. If this was more of a, if these were all quick spells, these cards would definitely be much better in my opinion. But I suppose that them having these secondary effects is enough. But this card over here basically allows you to destroy cards, face-up cards, mind you. Target and destroy up to the number of attack position actor monsters you have. And then if you have Superstar, the opponent can't really respond to this, which makes this a bit better because it's you can't really respond to negate this card. And Abyss Script is so far, let me see, target one Abyss. You can just banish 3 monsters from the extra deck, but they can choose, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So, in terms of power, when this deck really gets going, it can pop at best maybe 6 cards. No, 6, yeah, 6 cards. And also, its attack power isn't too bad because if it needs to become a beat stick, if you need a beat stick, they do actually have something for that. And I believe that is in Evil Heal, where you can basically you can target a monster. One face-up monster your opponent controls, it loses 1,000 attack for each Abyss monster actor you control, so you can make a monster lose 6,000 attack at best. So, let's see. You can. I'm trying to think. In Duel Links, you can. It's pretty easy to OTK with this deck if they have attack position monsters and you get this monster out. So, in terms of Duel Links, this would have a bit of a higher ranking. So, let me just also add this. I added this to Duel Links, I believe. So, let me just. Actually, it's not too bad. Let me just do this. Supported by, so in Duel Links, since you have a smaller deck size and most people keep theirs, it at least receives a bit of a consistency booster, because if you add extras and Hyper Director, that deck would be super consistent in Duel Links. But again, the power for Duel Links with 4,000 life points, not many people summon 4,000 monsters with more than 4,000 attacks, so it is possible to destroy, but since they don't have any extra deck monsters at the moment, their power can be considered 6. Not impossible to get over them or to stop them, and it's not really guaranteed. But over here, it kind of takes a hit with the high life points, so they can't really first turn kill unless your opponent is literally doesn't have a board. And this card, I believe, does it do? One of the cards does piercing, if I'm correct. Okay, so let's see. One of the cards, I believe, does do piercing. So, Abyss Actor. Let me see. Comic Relief, Extras Evil Heal doesn't do pierce. No. Does it do piercing? I don't think any of them do piercing. Trendy Understudy, I think, is a newer one. No, it's an older one. I just haven't seen it that much. Ooh, this is going fantastic so far. If you have 2 Abyss Actors cards and you contribute this card, special summon 1 level 8. 1 or 8 Pinion monster from your hand to face up from your extra deck. Very situational, because it requires you to have a level 8 in your deck or extra deck, so you can't really unless you tribute it, but then again it's a bit of a tricky thing. Tickle the Star, Wild Hope, it locks you to 3, and yeah. Okay, so overall I would say even in the Master Duel format, its power would be a 6. Not too bad, not too great. So the uniqueness of its mechanic, it basically revolves around what is it? It revolves around pendulum summoning as well as using the opposite effects. With Funky Comedian, I would have to say that one of the what kind of adds to it is that Funky Comedian adds a bit of a unique aspect that it just swaps over monster cards. Not swaps over monster cards, but rather just swaps over monster cards. It swaps over a monster card that allows you to pop your own, which gives you really awesome effects. I just want to check the other spells also, because I do know they have a field spell as well. Prop Wild Wagon. Abyss Tamement, I believe. No, that is definitely the wrong deck. Abyss Actor. They do have a field spell, which I'm very surprised isn't really listed here. Let me see. There's field spells, dramatic story, romantic terror. Not all of them are listed here from what I can see. Ignite Reload, 1-for-1, dress rehearsal. Let me see, Toggle 1 Abyss. So I see, it's not in the TCG yet. So special summon 1 Abyss Actor monster from your deck. Okay, not bad actually. This actually does improve its consistency now that I look at it deeper. If the set card is destroyed, you have a face up. You can return up to 2 cards in the field to the hand. So bouncer, nice. At the start of your main phase, add 1 Abyss active card and 1 Abyss script spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you can open yourself. Okay, not bad actually. These are some pretty good consistency cards. Not bad at all actually. So I think I'm just going to have to raise its consistency a bit higher. Because at the start of the main phase also, if you use this correctly, you can actually get some good cards in this. So let's see. I should really label these ABC rather, but I'll do that after the stream. Oh yeah, I forgot they're getting supports in Photon Hypernova recently, so they got a new wave of supports. So I can actually just cut out the do the support now rather, and just give them a rather good 7. No, Duel Links, no, in Duel Links they kind of, in Duel Links they don't really have much support. So I'd give it 4, because to be quite honest, while there is enough cards, I haven't seen enough supports in Duel Links to actually make them that much playable nor relevant, even if you play them as a pure archetype. So let's see, oppressiveness / protection. They aren't really that oppressive to the other player in all honesty. They're just very punishing. The uniqueness / mechanic, again, they're a pendulum that revolves around spell cards. So even though it hasn't been done that much, I would give it at least a 5. It's not too bad, not too great either. At Igniter, I gave it a 4 because it just relies on Link Summoning, which isn't really that unique now that I think about it. Maybe I should just drop it down a point. So then, oppressiveness, the opponent can still play through this in all honesty. So, oppressiveness, it's not really actually that oppressive at all. And it doesn't have that much protection at all. So I'm just going to give it a 2. I think it has some battle protection. But other than that, I do not see how any other form of protection is in it, rather. Again, these points are, if I do make changes, I'll just highlight them in the next stream. Consistency, to be quite honest, in the Master Duel format, I'm going to include actually just for clarity's sake. Let me see, TCG / OCG rather. I'm not too picky. I just look at all the cards, so I'm not going to nitpick. So, Dress Rehearsal, this card over here adds tons of consistency because it's a fantastic search. In all honesty, just had to play turn 1, but it basically cuts out some pot cards. But again, we're not looking at generic. And also, this actor extras adds way more consistency. And Hyper Director is just a fantastic card all around. So if you open up with a monster, you already have a play, especially a level 4 monster. So, in all honesty, its consistency for this is actually, you can open up with any monster and get any other monster out. And then it's all up to you from there. So I would give that an actual ace. I think it's slightly more consistent than Igniter, if I think about it, or same level, honestly. Again, I'm just going to give it an 8. Feel free to argue with me. This isn't definitive. Overall support in Master Duel, it has been receiving support as well. By the way, I should probably answer this. Overall support, depending, let's see, if it's overall support, the reason why I'm giving it an 8, I feel it has the same amount because it has its own support archetype. And for example, let's say, how do I say it? Basically, I'm trying to think. Heroes I would give a 10 because they have a crap ton of support. But newer decks, obviously, I'm not going to give them that much support. I'm going to base the amount of overall support and how much cards were released with them on day 1. But overall support for now, I'm basing it on Abyss Actors as well as just in general how often they get support. And just the amount of cards they have available for them to actually use. That's, I think, the best way to describe it, rather. Because they have been receiving a lot of support here. So, yeah. Okay, so now in Duel Links, sorry. Uniqueness mechanic, not really much of a difference, so I'll give it a 5. It's not too bad, not too great either. Oppressiveness protection, still a 2. Let's see, consistency actually takes a bit of a dip, honestly. because if you don't have let me see, sassy what is it, Mellow Madonna, and if you're relying only on using solitary skill, I believe, there's not really much you can do because most people run 3 Mellow Madonnas and 3 Wild Hopes because but if you have no, they don't have actually proper searches. So to be quite honest, in Duel Links, I'd give the consistency a 3. And yeah, that is fantastic. Let's just neaten this up a bit. Just make it look much better in all honesty. So, let's see. Just to make this look much better. Master Duel format. Speed, power, overall support, 7. Okay, so did I get overall support for Master Duel? This is 7. Fantastic job. So Master Duel format. I'm also talking about the game here, I should mention. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let me just add this now. Actignister, best actor 3. Best actor is a 1. There's gonna definitely be a better way to add names. Get this. Okay, fantastic. We went through Abyss Actor. Okay, now let's look up to Abyss. Okay, this one's a bit tricky because I haven't read this much. So this relies around monsters like Abyss Soldier, Abyss Warrior activate the effects by discarding water monster, while others like Mermail, Abyss Skinned, and have the effects activated when sent to the graveyard. This helps the player to have card advantage over the opponent by adding monsters while manipulating their cards. Dear God. I don't know how I'm gonna rank this specifically. Damn. Sets, TCG sets. Oh, I'm afraid to open this. Alright, I was ready to be afraid of this. Okay, so it's basically taking just the word, having the word Abyss in it, in all honesty. Because it has DD, so to be quite honest, I wouldn't consider a deck like this as for the Dimension format because it's not really lore related directly. The only thing they share is the word Abyss. Just want to check what it does here because they show once per turn you can discard 1 water monster to the graveyard, so this is generic. It's a generic card for water decks, in all honesty. For water type decks. So I'm just going to label this as I wonder, do they actually consider Abyss Actor now that I think about it? Because it's gotta make sense because they also have the word Abyss in it. Okay, no, unfortunately not. I kind of bit. Nah. Okay, so I don't know. If there's enough problems with this, then I'll maybe reconsider it. But for now, this just looks like a hassle. Holy crap. Okay, so next up is, let me just add this. Abyss. Fantastic. Then I'm just gonna add N/A. I don't think it's. I've seen the card in Duel Links. I have seen the card in Duel Links, but yeah. Again, I don't think it's. I don't think I can add it here, but I'll just add it just for safety. Fantastic. Okay, next up is Adamantipator's, another fan favorite of mine. So I'm talking again at just normal Adamantipator's, pure Adamantipator's. So they have 3 normal monsters and their crystals, and so basically 9 main deck monsters. So that's already 27 cards out of the 40. So I believe this archetype over here can make a deck if they wish. Because they also have, let me see, Adamantipator friends, so let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that is 25, so 52 cards already. So yeah, this deck on its own can make a, it can make its own deck just based on the pure archetype. Okay, fantastic. So let's see what is okay. So I think maybe it's a bit time that I go into a bit more context. And also I need a better way of swapping this. Yes, fantastic. Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting that this doesn't automatically change the screens. So, unfortunately about that. Let me see if I can maybe just change the settings, capture cursor. No, I need to fiddle around with this a bit later. But for now, that is dope. Okay. So, let's look into adamantitators. So, one of the reasons why I want to make a dimension format is personally, I am one of those people that play casually. And I like to play casually. It's no secret. But also, I have been noticing that other decks like meta decks, especially in TCG and OCG, tend to mix quite a lot of cards together, archetypes specifically. And then when they mix and match with these archetypes, they create really oppressive boards that not anyone can play against. And I kind of want to minimize on that because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is heading towards this whole point of just becoming overall oppressive, rather. In terms of, if you actually want to be competitive, you have to play decks that just make it unfun for your opponent. But I think, and I have been seeing on a lot more places that a lot of people just want to play more casual, and there isn't a proper format for that because I'm unfortunately the type of person who prefers to play pure, and yeah, when I started, I loved playing pure because pure is just more fun in my opinion. When it's how do I say, when you're playing actual meta or playing more along meta lines with half your deck consisting of hand traps, then it just makes the game so boring and actually just more frustrating than fun, and everybody ends up hating the whole game. So I also want to make this format something for beginners, where beginners can go against beginners, and even some people who know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against casuals who play archetypes. And it also kind of makes the game more back and forth. I'm not trying to go back to the older formats where you play normal monster. Oh yes, I use Mirror Force to stop this. Oh, I look the match, and the match takes 30 minutes to finish and is the most boring thing on earth. But I wanted more focused on archetypes and allow archetypes to at least have fun with their monsters built in. For example, Crystron Halk, I can't pronounce his name, but Crystron Halk, the Link 2, I believe. So he is a Crystron monster, and a lot of people love that monster, but they can't really play him anymore considering he's now forbidden. And basically, Crystron players get the short end of the stick due to the meta, and yeah, then they can't really have much fun with their Crystron deck anymore. Or for example, how do I say, actual card playing more. So it kind of affects market prices for some cards, where some people just like the archetype, whereas some need it for as a piece for the meta deck they're building. But I'm not going to get too much in that. I just hope my argument makes enough sense and that I presented it eloquently enough. Fantastic. So let's get into the next one. Damn, this is really taking a quick number on my throat here. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera, but I do have a fancy-ass mic, so that should really help. So now, let's look at the Adamantipator archetype. If I'm correct, Analyzer or Research, I think, is the Unlimited. That is pretty dope. But I don't know, one of these cards were really hit in Master Duel the other day. Master Duel meta. I just want to see Adamantipator. Yeah. What? He was hit? I really didn't expect him to be hit out of all cards, in all honesty. Yeah, no, I really didn't expect him to be hit. But, okay, I didn't see that coming. And then also, I just want to see, Helk. I think he's forbidden. Oh, yeah, no, he's forbidden. You can't play him anywhere. So basically, something like this, due to how the meta goes, it just locks Christian players out of one of their key pieces, although I'm unfortunately not that into the TCG to know the difference between advanced and traditional. I know how to play the game. I love the game. It is one of my favorites. I'm more of a casual player, but yeah. Just want to try my best at maybe presenting a format like this. I will maybe one day make a video just to describe it much more perfectly. But for now, this will have to, my crappy explanations will have to do. So let's see, this is a mainly rock type archetype, and let me just quickly explain it. So you just have your normal tuner monsters, which all of them share the ability to special summon themselves. As you can see here, if your opponent only controls a monster, you can special summon this card, so this is more of a turn 2 card. Or if your opponent special summons during your turn while you're going through your combo. Or if you control rock monster, this is a free special summon, and this also shares if you control Adamantipator. So this one is more generic, this is less generic, and this is just a bit circumstantial. And they all share the effect where this deck is actually built around excavating your deck. And then you just special summon any rock monsters you find from it, and then you go into synchros, and these are the 3 monsters at the moment. I believe they'll add more monsters as time goes on, because right now you only have these earth monsters, they're all earth, whereas these is wind, water, as well as fire. And the thing is, for these, I feel like they're going to still add the other elements. I'm going to die before I ever see a divine added again. But yeah, these should do for the time being. And when these cards are special summoned, especially let's see, if these cards are special summoned, they do, let me just see, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1, return, and if you do, place this card on the top of your deck. Yeah, if this card is special summoned, you can place one Adamantipator card from your hand or graveyard, and you can add to the top of your deck. So basically, when excavating and you add a rock monster, you can excavate and special summon, or you can get a spell card with some monsters. I'll show you that just now. So this one over here, if it's special summon, you can place 1 rock monster from your hand or graveyard, again just like fire, I believe. But this one, you can draw 1 card. So if you get these out and do that, top of deck, and then if you do this, you can basically special summon a monster. I don't know, it's a bit confusing now that I think more and more about it, actually. Well, it's not really confusing, I just gave a very bad situation off the top of my head, apologies. So, now let's just look at the overall power of them. So, let's look at Adamantipator's. Okay. So, Adamantipator's aren't really added in Duel Links yet. So, I can't really go too deep into that. Duel Links is missing a lot of Adamantipator, yeah, is missing a lot of cards, in all honesty. So, which is quite a shame, because some decks really need that support. Yeah, let's see, they only got 1 wave of support at the moment, and they have enough cards to build a deck. So, and their support is actually pretty good, because they even have a counter trap. But let's first look into all of these. So first of all, it's speed. Depending on how your deck is shuffled, it's a bit of a gambling. It's a bit of a gamble, because your deck won't always be the way it's shuffled so that you can get the best cards. And you can add Soldier Granite, I believe, a level 4 rank, a rank 4 Xyz monster, which suits rocks perfectly. So let's see, Adamantipator it has a good enough speed, but the thing is, for your opponent it's hell. Because they're going to have to wait for you to excavate that. Even in Master Duel, you can't really speed up the excavation. So, in terms of speed of going around its deck, it's not really that awesome. But its field spell actually makes it doable. From left to right, were in the artwork of Adamantipator Laputite. Yes, so you can take up to 5 Adamantipator cards from your deck and place them on top of your deck in any order. So this whole deck again revolves around how cards are excavated, and this is the perfect card for it. So in all honesty, this gives major speed boost, so you can get any card you want. But unfortunately, it's more of a one and done deal. So I think what most people do, from my understanding, I don't play it enough to actually put in practice. And correct me if I'm wrong again, but they basically take one card they want, and they put 4 cards they don't want. And then when they activate the excavation effect, then they get that one card they want, special summon it, and just send the other 4 to the bottom of the deck. Because I failed to mention that when these cards excavate, you place the rest of the card on the bottom of the deck in any order. So yeah, then it's a bit so yeah, I think the best thing to do is to that's what most people do. And their spell cards also are fantastic at searching. Let me see. The spirit monsters. Let me see. They Adamantipator Friends, Laputite, Signs, and not Terraforming. Resonance and Relief. So let's see. Yeah, this adds a bit. They can be a bit oppressive though, to the opponent because of these cards. So tribute to any number. Okay, yeah. So basically, Treacherous Trapple without that much, just cost instead. So this can excavate, and you can add to your hand 1 excavated rock monster with a level. So it can be a potential searcher with Laputite. Then Adamantipator Sign, target 1 wrong monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. Then if you special summon an Adamantipator monster, you can take 1 of the 4 room and place on top of your deck. So this is a fantastic search as well. But unfortunately, it requires you to first have a monster in the graveyard, so it's not a good starter, but a fantastic extender. So overall, once this card gets start rolling, then it for your opponent again it's really slow, but for you it can really go around the deck. I should really change that to maybe something else, but for now we'll just keep it at speed. So I would give this it actually has fantastic searching now that I think about it. Yeah, I give this an 8 as well. For how well it can get around its deck. Unfortunately, again, I need to just change this because maybe speed should just be defined on how quick it can get its own board set up. But for now, we'll just leave it at that. So then it's power. So again, as I said, this deck can be very oppressive, but we're going to assume that it's your turn 1 battle phase and you want to go FTK, OTK this person. So, the cards that it's most interested in is unfortunately I wish it had more, but for now maybe with the format I just need to see if it's going to have a separate 5 generic cards or shared 5 generic cards. Again, it doesn't have to be 5, but it's going to change. It might change. So Adamantipator Risen. Oh, I just got the name all of a sudden. Why is this hurting me a bit? It has these 3 cards. This is fantastic for banishing. If your opponent relies on graveyard effects. This is during your opponent's turn. If 5 monsters in your graveyard, you can target 1 rock monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. So I suppose it gives some fuel for one of the trap cards where it destroys. Let me see. Relief. And then this card over here is the bad boy of the deck. 3000 attack, but its attack isn't the best part. Rather, it says you can excavate top 5 cards in your deck, and if you do, return cards your opponent return your opponent's cards controls and up to the number of rock monsters. So if you combine this with Laputite, this basically you can bounce 5 cards back and screw your opponent. And luckily this is what is it? I guess the good thing is this is only on your main phase, not your opponent's. And then the best card is when your opponent activates a spell / trap card or effect while a water monster is in your graveyard, you can negate and destroy that card. So let me see. If I am Adamantipator Resonance, does it only go for monster or is it Omni? So when a monster effect is activated, so let me see. So it doesn't protect from traps because so if you have this, you basically have 1 Omni negates, which isn't too bad. But I suppose the good thing is that this is not a hard once per turn. This card over here. So if you have 3, you can basically stop your opponent 3 times. It's oppressive, in a sense, but it's not too oppressive if you get rid of the cards. Because let's say you have 2 trap removal cards, yeah, you can activate Adamantipator Ridden to stop it once, and then your opponent can just pop these cards and you can still continue with your combo, so it's not impossible to play against. So it's not too oppressive that it stops your opponent from outright playing if you get a full board setup. And you can only use, and this is a hard once per turn using this card's effect. So in all honesty, this card's power, in terms of just in general, I would say that it can OTK. Let me see, hold on a minute. I just want to see if this is only during your turn this can be activated. So, Oh, no, this is during either person's turn. So I think that is actually fantastic. So it does give some form of protection when going into the battle phase. So in terms of power, I would give it a fantastic 8. This deck over here, now that I think about it, has a really good ability to FTK, now that I think about it. The not the what is it, Adamantipator, but I'm looking at Igniter here. I don't know, I just need to see what happens, honestly. But, yeah, fantastic. So, let's see, what is up next? Let me see, so then the mechanic of it all. Let me just say, I'm just going to swap this over to this block over here. So let's see, Adamantipator, uniqueness / mechanic of the whole thing. So, to be quite honest, I would consider it a bit unique, considering how it focuses on rock monster Adamantipator's, have their own effects, and I don't know, just the whole idea of, first of all, excavating is just really fantastic, especially with the field spell. Its whole mechanic is just, excavate, and also the whole gimmick of having a certain type of monster card in the graveyard for the synchros to activate really fantastic effects also really helps. So I think I'm going to give this a 6. Or a 7, actually. Because, again, it is pretty unique. I haven't seen it anywhere else for any other monsters. Where it says if you have this specific type of monster, you can stop. I may be proven wrong, but for now it's good. Its protection is actually fairly decent, in all honesty. Because, at best, it can set up 3 monster negates. As well as 1 spell / trap negate. And again, it's not too oppressive to the other player. So it is fair, in all honesty. So, but it can be oppressive if your opponent doesn't have a great hand. So I would give this a 6, actually. Because, by the way, if it's a 10, that means your opponent cannot play at all, which is an actual problem. So the higher this number is, in terms of if it's higher than 5. And the closer it is to 10, the bigger of a problem it is, rather. So consistency, this deck actually has some fantastic consistency. You can even use some extra cards to add some even more consistency. So, in all honesty, from just reading it, again, I'm going to have to test some of these decks at one point, or hopefully have some other people, because I can't test over, the millions of archetypes that are available. So maybe the consistency will be about a 5, maybe. Fantastic. No, not a 5, damn. An 8 as well. So far, everything I've seen has a overall consistency of 8. And I don't know if that's just me, because I'm bad at this, or it's just how it is. Maybe I should just align these, but for now, let's just see. Overall support. They have a fairly amount of cards, although they haven't really received much ever since Rise of the Duelist. And I think they received their second round in 10 of Ancient Battles. Let me see. Includes cards, as well as 4 new cards for Magician's Salvation, Piercing the Darkness. What? I don't know. They have fairly decent. It's not too great, but it's not too bad either. It makes the deck consistent enough, in all honesty. And the overall support is actually, it ticks all the boxes for me, so I would give it a 7. In all honesty. It could use more, could use less. I don't have a problem, basically. Okay, then. Oh, shit, I need... Okay, Advanced Crystal Beast, I think, is directly related to Crystal Beast. I don't know, just a funny feeling. I think, is this referring to the new cards? I don't know, I'll just call it a sub-archetype. So, I'll just have to look at that later. Aesir. Okay. let's just take a quick bit of a break because my throat is giving in and it is not feeling that great. So, yeah. I'm just gonna leave this up at the moment. And, yeah. Oh, damn, my throat. Okay, and we are back. Fantastic. So let's get started with this. So then adamant. So let's just go a bit quicker than usual. I just got a lozenge for my throat to make it easier. So for adamantipator overall support, I should rather just change that for overall support. Rather, overall support has gotten / had over the years, and yeah, that is much better than usual. Fantastic. So that is adamantipators fantastically wrapped up. Now then, let us go on to the next one. I don't know why I sound like a TV presenter. So the next one is going to be the, let's see. So after adamantipator, then it was the Aesir, if I'm correct. Aesir is also in Duel Links. So the Aesir, I believe, it just consists of the what is it? It works with Nordic as well. So it's more Nordic than Aesir. So I'm just going to add this underneath somewhere here. Rather, just to cut my losses. This. Okay. So then let's just put this here. So then, just gonna add this Nordic. And we'll just add this like that, and by Aesir, because most of the Nordic monsters, boss monsters, are in the Aesir archetype. So yeah, Aesir only from my understanding only consists of 3 monsters at the moment. No, wait, Lord of Aesir. No, yeah, Aesir. Just these 3 cards that have the name Aesir in it, but it's mainly Nordic. So for now, I'll just go into that a bit later. Then Aether. This is the first time I actually heard of this archetype before. Aether. Oh yeah, no, this is also a sub of Empowered Warrior. If I remember this archetype, in my opinion, it's not the greatest, in all honesty. So let's just, you're probably wondering why I haven't done any rankings yet, because first of all, I just want to create points for it. And then we will just go off those points and then just put them in order. So let me just see. Aether. Now we'll just put them in order, so I just want to create points for them and so on. So let's check out the supported by, no, let me just say rather Empowered Warrior supported by Aether. Okay, if I remember, these cards aren't they aren't that great. They are great on their own, but I don't know, they aren't that significant. Some people may like them, some not. I tried, they're great. They're also in Duel Links, but they didn't really make that much of a hit. Alchemy Beast, oh no. This is an anime only deck, because if it is, I can't really go, crap. Eratos the Tin, what is this deck? Level 3 with 500 tech, used by Amniel. The main strategy of the archetype is banishing your own monsters to power up your strong monsters and relying on direct attack ability of the weak monsters. Okay, so this is only anime from my understanding, although I believe there is Chaos Distill is an actual card. Yeah, it's not often used from my understanding. So I don't know, maybe in DD decks, not D/D, D.D. So yeah, I don't know any of these cards actually there. So no, this is doesn't exist. I believe they use Helios rather. He used Helios, so this isn't really an archetype I can go into. Alien, ooh, Alien, nice. Oh yes, gotta love aliens. They use basically just to give a quick overview. They use counters to give themselves advantage on the field, and using those counters, they have multiple effects, and they can give your monsters those counters too. So, in all honesty, I have played with this deck before, but they're a bit slow even to find here, because I'm reading this and I realize that this deck. The problem is you need to first get the tokens out, and then that's just a whole monster of a story on its own. And they are more of a counter deck anyway. So let's see. So if I had to give let's see, alien. So I'm just gonna make this alien. Alien on its own. Its speed is it's quite slow. I just need to double check that I'm not being insane when I'm thinking about its speed, because I do want to give this a bit of a proper look. So I just want to see what cards are usually included in this. Just going to use this just to... no, I don't feel comfortable. Let me see. Alien Ammonite I know is one of their tuners. So let's see. When this card, you can talk on level 4 graveyard, but destroy it during the end phase, so it's just meant for synchro and that's it. But it doesn't negate the effect, which is pretty good actually. But it uses up in normal summon, so... Alien Dog, it punishes your opponent. No, it doesn't punish your opponents, it just adds. One of these cards punishes, I believe. Oh, that went a bit too deep. Alien Hunter, Alien Grey, no. I think Alien Kid actually punishes. Ooh, Flip Mechanic, that's pretty old, but not bad. With it can attack once again in a row. Okay, so this is just your beat stick. Although very situational beat stick. You can't really get it out turn 1. This, oh damn, Geminis. Oh wow, Geminis are so, yeah, oof. Geminis are just slow in general. Alien Infiltrator. It's gonna spell your opponent's side. It can attack your opponent direct. Not that great. This, yeah, this is the Punisher. Place 1 on all monster special summon to your opponent's side of the field. Yeah, so it just also decreases for each A counter, which is not bad actually. It makes this deck slightly fun. Alien Mother, Alien Mars. Oh wow, this is a negator already. Not bad actually, but then again, it's tricky to get. This destroys a monster with the A counter of assets. The graveyard special summon the destroyed monster to your side of the field. When this card removed. Okay, not too bad. Hypno, I already looked at. Kid, Ammonites, not that great. Overlord, Psychic, Shock Trooper, M-Frame. I'm just opening all of these because I'm not really that proficient with this deck. You can move to A from the field, special summon this card. Oh, nice, free special summon, and it's not a once per turn, I think. Never mind, it is a once per turn because you can only control 1. But no, it's not once per turn per se, but you can only special summon 1, so you can't go in. They wouldn't really have any purpose to go into rank 6 or anyway to easily go in there. On each face of monster your opponent controls. Oh wow, that is absolutely not bad. But the problem is, it's pretty easy to counter this. Again, not too fast. So, oh yeah, no, I was surprised. This was a normal, not bad attack though. Oh yeah, they link monster. You can discard 1, place a counter equal to its original level on face of monster on the field, distribute it as you wish. This card is destroyed by battle card effect and sent to the graveyard. You can special summon non-link. Not bad at all. Although I don't really see why doesn't this have a picture. Hold on, wait. Alien Stealth Buster. Okay, there we go. That's sorry, I can't handle no pictures. Since the graveyard, you can place 2 A counters during your main phase. You can banish this card from the graveyard and destroy it. Bit slow, but it's a bit of a form of comeback. So in a pure format, this would survive. In a better format, this would not stand a single turn. Not bad at all. Yeah, so that is definitely not too bad, but not too great either. And I just want to see what is the boss monsters for this deck. Because, sorry, I just want to see. So, Brainwashing Beam, Mass Hypnosis, Cosmic, and by using effects return all face-up traps you. Okay, so basically Golgar control just recycles swords of revealing light, so your opponent can never attack, but can be popped. So greatest. It made an appearance in the anime? Damn, we need to check that out. I don't know, I'm a bit mixed up on this one. So I think rather I'm just going to I'm just gonna give this a bit of a low. I don't know. It just says it has a low speed, and I can't see how it has a low speed to set up a good board. And it doesn't have many searches from what I can see, so its speed is more akin to 3. I don't know, I need my mind changed on that. Alien Hunter, I don't know, let me just check their spell cards, because again, they don't seem to have much thing. Again, recommended cards, I'm just using this because it just saves me time searching through all of them. ASL, Code A, Ancients, Gemini Spark, that's definitely product of its time. I think this is one of its boss monsters. Psychic. Let me see. Target one send one alien monster from your deck to the graveyard and if you replace. Oh wow. Not bad actually. Has some good counters. Select one face-up alien monster you control, destroy and distribute new A counters equal to it. Not bad. Oh, and it's a quick play. Not bad. Some of these cards are pretty decent. And I do like the idea of the counters on it. But then again, it's... I don't know, its slowness just messes with me. That's the problem. So I'm just going to give it an overall speed of... Yeah, I'll just keep it at 3. Its best board at least comes to a 5 because its uniqueness though, I would definitely give it a 7. I don't know, actually... It's not too fantastic. It's not too great either. No, it is actually really unique actually. No, I'll just give it 1 cut above the rest. And then its oppressiveness protection is absolute tragedy, and its consistency is fine as is. Overall support, it has overall support, but it's not that great. So Alien, well, it is pretty unique. It's just, it's sad. Fantastic now. Okay, and also I've seen it's in Duel Links also, so maybe it will see some love in Duel Links considering it has a small deck size. So its consistency is a bit higher on Duel Links, and it does have its cards at least. But again, it's not really that great regardless. And also, to just set up that board just seems like such a hassle in all honesty, especially for that archetype. Fantastic, so... Again, this is a bit rough, but anyway, let's continue. Okay, now... For another archetype. Damn, didn't expect this to take so much energy out of me. So this Alligator, which is already a bit strange. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know, this is really hitting me in a weird way. Okay, no, okay, so it has its own CCG. Spawn Alligator during the end phase of this turn. This card is tribute summoned by triggering a reptile type. It's just pretty... how do I say it? Alligator baby, it's... I don't know, I don't think... Lion Alligator, I don't know, this guy's deck isn't even Alligator James. I think he uses, what is it, Fossil Fusion. Fossil Fusion. Wow, that was pretty bad. He uses a Fossil deck, Dark Alligator, Lion Alligator, Spawn Alligator, Toon Alligator, Ally Souls, it doesn't even have a counterpart. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna waste my time on this one. Okay, up next is Allure Queen. I think this is a level deck. Yeah, this is a level deck, and it was absolutely destroyed in Reigned by I. So, I don't know what to say about this. Allure Queen, Queen's Bodyguard? What? Allure Queen monster on your side of the field cannot be selected as an attack target. It's a level monster already. It's already gonna struggle. What does Allure Queen do, by the way? Like, okay, so at a max level, once per turn during your main phase of the card special summon by the effect of Allure Queen 5, you can select one monster on your opponent's side of the field and equip it to this card. So, if this card be... Okay, so basic... That's not that great. Like, in all honesty, it's kind of ass. Yeah, I don't even know how she, in the anime, how she got this card out. She got all the Allure Queens out, but you need to summon it during your standby phase, and... I don't know, it's just pretty... it's just not that great. I don't even know if it's worth looking into, because... this is not even gonna be that... It's literally 4 cards. If you really wanted to make a... I suppose I'd allow it to be in a level... If it had to be in the format, to be a level deck at best. But Allure Queen, it just isn't that impressive. So, I don't know, dude. I'm just gonna add this like this. Okay, Allure Queen. Okay, this is a pretty easy deck to judge. So if there are Allure Queen fans out there, I am super sorry, because damn. Oh, damn. It's not even that great, in all honesty. Its mechanic is not really unique. Well, it is pretty, it's decent at least. But it has battle protection, I suppose, but 1500 attack, would you really want to waste time getting that? Its consistency is, it's just not a great card, in all honesty. And by the way, that was my chair. But I don't think it's even in Duel Links now, that thing. Okay, maybe it is in Duel Links, but it's maybe a super rare or ultra rare. I know them. Even Duel Links doesn't want to give them the time of day. That is so tragic. And even with level up, its support isn't that great. You know what, let's just be honest. Its support is just complete. It's sad. It's tragic. It's just tragic. I'm just gonna add Allure Queen there as well, because damn, why though would Queen, out of all characters in the anime, have this deck if it's kinda ass. That's all I can say. Duel Links, it can't do much there. At least it gave them all their support, but it's not even that great. Where can I even get this? Valiant Soul? Actually, I think I have these cards in Duel Links. Damn. Okay, so that was Ally of Justice. Ooh, Altergeist is up next. That is... Wow, there are... crap ton. I think Attraction is Submin. Attack Archetype? Wait, sorry, just before we go on. Attack? Okay, that... Okay, I really don't know what to say about the Astral Archetype. Sorry, some of these archetypes are just really unique or interesting to me. Astral Golem, Astral Knight, Astral Magician. I think Astral Knight is supposed to be... Never mind. Okay, so I can already see some I'm gonna skip. Cause Assault Blackwing, I think it's its own, yeah, it's a sub archetype or support archetype, so I can't really go over it. Assassin? What? Eliminate? When a monster declares an attack, except an assassin monster. Except what? Declares an attack except an assassin monster. What? negate the monster, and if you do, destroy the monster. If there are no assassin monsters on the field, destroy this card. Okay, so that is practically pointless to look at. Artorigus is, I think it's for Noble Knights. It's a sub-archetype. Contains 3 Noble Knight monsters. I would want to look at this one day, but let's see. Artifact, Aroma. Let me see. So I can see that Atlantis, it's... Who is making the edits to this? Honestly. Because some of these are actual... Not to be rude, just... Ooh, I just want to read this though. I love this card. If you activate any card of this effect, your opponent takes no further damage. Once per turn, you target one monster your opponent controls. Equip that top... Oh, wow. If this card has, you can attach 3, send all number monsters. Oh, yeah, no, this would mess you up a bit. This would, I don't know, it's just, it's a bit of a tricky thing. So let's see, we have Artifact, Aroma, Armor Canine? Some of these are just confusing, actually. Oh, damn, I'm not even halfway through. And I'm already feeling it. So, Artifact, Aroma. Aroma is fantastic in all honesty. I think it's more controlled than actual fighting. And its board can be slightly oppressive. It's just annoying, actually, if you think about it. So, Ally of Justice. Here we go. Used by the Ghost Army. Okay. They are empowered during the user's battle. Is Ally of Justice, who destroys any non-dark monster in battle. Or introduce these were part of Dual Terminal if I'm correct. But the problem is these cards were really slow, and besides Ally of Justice, Catastor wasn't really that great. So who knows? I tend to not focus exclusively upon destroying one particular category of opposed. Indeed, against most decks, many of the cards of the archetype will be useless. So this card is basically useless if you're not fighting light. So you need DNA transplants. So if you don't play light, you're fine. Against most decks, many of the cards in this archetype are... Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's why it sucked. Because, I don't know, I remember reading up on it, and although Catastor looked cool, it was just useless. In all honesty. I mean, yeah, even here it says been battling light monsters, so I do agree. I just want to look at all of these real quick. Ally of Justice... So let me see, if a light monster is on the field, destroy this card. Okay. Once per turn, you can discard one to return spell and trap cards equals the number of face-up tuners, so this isn't really affected by light. If this card battles a light, it gains 200. It's not even that great. If this card destroys a light monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. By Joe, oh wow, these cards are actual ass. So okay, let's just check if Catastor, Decisive Armor, Field Marshal. Again, we're just going on the idea that these are just pure. It's going pure. So this is good if you're not fighting light. Okay, wait. So if it fights light, you're good. Actually, if your opponent controls a light monster, you can activate one of these effects. Target one set card your opponent controls, destroy that target. Send one card from your Ensure spell. Okay, this is pretty good. But again, it requires your opponent to have light, so it's pretty useless. Let's see. Field Marshal, let me guess. If this is... Okay, this isn't too bad, at least. And there it is again. Okay, so, Ally of Justice, nay or nay? Fantastic question. I'll go with nay. So I think it's also here as well, like they included all the cards. I think Catastor is an Ultra. But, yeah, they're not really that great, are they? I'd admit this at least gives a nicer mirror to look at. Not nicer mirror, nicer format to look at. So, Ally of Justice. That is the question of the day, isn't it? It's not that great, unfortunately, for the archetype. So, Ally of Justice. while it has received support, it has been basically sniped. So its speed is not that great unless you're going against a light monster, I suppose. Unless so speed, it's I don't know. Again, it's all 2s. Like the attacks aren't too bad, so I'll give him a 3 at least. The mechanic is definitely unique. That is certainly true. For it only attacks light, so that's at least unique. But damn, doesn't have any protection against unless you're using light or dark. Sorry, if the person's using light. Consistency, damn. Yeah. And overall support, it got support at least, but it's just complete trash, dude. Ally of Justice. At least for those playing in Duel Links, they can get rid of those blue eyes players. They can annoy the hell out of those blue eyes players at least. So 4, 5. So it basically remains the same, but they get at least a slight consistency boost. Okay, what's next? Ally of Justice, archetypes, oh crap, Altergeist. Oh dear, oh no. I know about this deck. Oh crap, I know this thing is... It is pretty damn oppressive, actually. This deck can be quite the oppressive monster if it gets all its cards out. I just want to see, just want to look here. I know one of the cards is already forbidden TCG. This card over here is just a nightmare to deal with. I don't play it enough to actually... Again, I need to learn some more of these cards to make a more accurate judgment. But I do understand their playstyle, and they can be quite oppressive, actually. This one specifically, I know, is one of the more impressive types. So I'm just going to give this already a 9. If in the Dimension format comes, and this card will definitely be a cut above, above the rest. So let's see. Altergeist is definitely number 8. So it can be quite... It does have some pretty good protection, actually. And it can be quite depressing to verse against. And I think it has some good consistency, actually. Oh, no, this thing is... Yeah, no, I'm just reading more and more about it, and it's scaring me more and more as I read it. Oh yeah, and this is non-targeting destruction. Holy crap. Yeah, no, this is pretty good, actually. I'm reading this card. So, this is a searcher. It basically just allows you to replace. And this card over here... Yeah, no, this has some massive consistency, actually. I think I'm maybe giving it a bit too much praise. But it has some massive consistency, and its overall support is fantastic. Its uniqueness is... I don't know, it's just a deck that relies mainly on traps. I just want to see its playstyle. So, Swarm, Negate, Return, it's basically a mix of a lot of things, ain't too much unique, rather, but it does get the job done at least. And its power, dear lord, have some mercy on this dude. And its speed, it can slow down the game quite a bit, but to get the cards it needs, it is definitely a 7. And, yeah, no, I think it's just fantastic in Master Duel, in the TCG format, in all honesty. Again, these are just working off pure decks and versing pure decks. Right. Let's see. Overall, Altergeist. So they're not that great. They're 3. They can't really make that great of a board either way, and they don't have much protection in all honesty. And consistency is a bit of a B. The overall support in Duel Links is absolute trash. So, but with Vrain's World added, it definitely should see some love. Okay, I think I'm actually... Wow, I didn't expect this to take so much out of me. Because I'm actually starting to feel... I think I'm going to stop by... I think I'm going to need to stop by... Let's see... when I reach another useless deck. Let's just say that. When I reach something that isn't quite a deck, but is a deck, and then you'll see. So let me just see. I have about... Trample is the last archetype. So I just want to check this out. So... Noble Arms, Old Entity is not really a deck anymore. They got nerfed to hell. From Fabled, let me just see. Okay, no, let's just go first rather. It'll just annoy me seeing how many I have, but it's fine. Okay, no, that was just okay. So there's 4 pages of all of this. Okay. Let's see. Amazement. Okay, I'm gonna... I don't understand why they're saying... I'm so confused. Hold on, wait. Okay, so... That's just annoying, but it's fine. I will maybe add my own support one day. So, let me see. So, this is a 6. Amazement hasn't hit Duel Links yet, but it's fine. I'll allow it. So, let's see. I think tomorrow I should play some games rather, because if I do this all the time, this is going to kill me, but at least I'm doing something. At least it's making some progress. So, let's see. Amazement slash attraction. So, amazement slash attraction is... It's a trap based deck in all honesty. So, let's get into it. So, Amazement is, actually I quite like this deck, because it is, I love its, I haven't played it that much unfortunately, but I have tried it out, and it's quite fun in all honesty. It's a fun deck to play. Because, how do I say, it's not too oppressive, like it doesn't stop your opponent from playing, but it's not also boring when it plays, because like obviously you just set traps and pass, set and pass, or just get your monsters out. Again, this is what I know. So in all honesty, I don't think, even though this is a trap heavy deck, it's still fair. And I like the idea that it's basically like an amusement park, and I do consider its mechanic to be quite unique in the fact that you can also equip the traps to yourself, and they give different effects, like they boost you or disadvantage your opponents. And honestly, I don't see any problem. And its boss monster, if I'm correct, is you can banish any number, destroy them. It's not bad actually. It's at least fair. For normal substitution monster, you can target one of those face-up monsters. Equip. Damn, and this boss monster is quite powerful actually. So in all honesty, this deck, from the get-go, it doesn't really need to set up that strong of a board. It just needs to get Amazement Administrator out. So it has a good speed, in my opinion. 8, it's a trap-heavy deck, and surprisingly, in my opinion, it can go quite quickly if it gets the right cards. Actually, I think I'm giving it too much praise. Let me just give it a 6 rather. And then its power... Oh, crap, I forgot what most of its traps does. So, Wonder Wheel... Viking Vortex, Special Soul, Meantime Ticket, Thrilling Train, Rapid Racing, let me see. Ambassador Buffo, let me see. Basically, place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck to draw. No, it's not pressing. Plunder Patrol, nice. So, declares an attack, negate the attack, and redo change of control. Wow! This is just a really fun deck for both players, in my opinion, because it's going to be quite tricky to dodge this, but at least you'll remember the battle if the person knows what they're doing. I actually like this deck, honestly. Yeah, it has some fantastic consistency. And yeah, again, I might be shooting myself in the foot, but I think it has some good consistency. Not too fantastic, but good. And I love it. I have to admit, I'm giving this a 9. It's not a 10 per se. I need to see a 10. It's fantastic, but it just loses some points on just being trap heavy. Then oppressiveness slash... I think I misspelled oppressiveness. No, then look at it. Did I misspell oppressiveness? I think I did. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that later. Protection, it has decent protection in all honesty. It supports, it has good enough support in my opinion. It has decent support. And its power is not too bad that it ruins everything, but not too weak that it makes it a pushover. So yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. Hell yeah, amazement. I don't know, again, you can argue with me. Sure, you can activate one attraction. Oh, crap, I didn't see this. And during the end phase, and... Oh, wow. So it also allows for recycling capabilities. Not bad at all. But then again, we can't spend all day here. Amazonas. Ah, one of the OGs. A Morphage, I think. Hold on, wait. Oh lord, I thought this was related to Aroma. This is terrifying, but, okay. Okay, I thought this was at one point, yeah, no, it does belong to my Valentine. Let's see. So, Amazonas. How do I say this? So, this deck was, again, in the OG Yu-Gi-Oh days. It has seen, received quite a lot of support over time. And to be quite honest, it's not bad of a deck, to be honest. It can get annoying, especially with, their one card, Amazonas Ambush, I believe? Onslaught, sorry. Where Arts of Battle, it just banishes non-target removal and the special summons. Again, it's not too bad, but what makes this more interesting, which I'm very excited for, is they went into pendulums, which are really, really awesome. Although I can't really show them because of I can't show them on Twitch because they do have the images. I'm not really sure if they fall in line. So I'm just going to play it safe because there are girls in hot tubs in this, but Twitch seems to be quite strange with how that goes. So I'm just going to stay on the safe side and just not show it rather. Yeah, as you can see, censorship. Actually, the censorship isn't too bad. It's just bikini, to be honest. I don't know why I worried. It's not too bad. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know why I keep going down. So, Amazonas, in all honesty, they can make a pretty terrifying board. Not too terrifying, but not too bad. Amazonas gold. I'm really afraid to look at any of these cards because this deck has been known to go through quite a lot of censorships, and I'm not sure. Again, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So, I don't know. Let's just call this Amazonas. I have played them quite a bit actually. I feel I do have a good understanding of this deck. Just gonna add this for future. So Amazonas, in my opinion, they don't have a great speed. They have a 5 maybe. Their power is fine. It's not too bad. Their uniqueness is not that great. It's battle heavy, fantastic. I haven't seen their pendulums too much and I can't look at them now. Oppressiveness / protection. They have a decent amount of battle protection, not spell protection. So I'll just give them a 5 because their protection also does monster removal and they do have some fairly good consistency, so I'll give them a 6 here. But their overall support, damn though, they have been killing it with overall support. So I'm going to be adding it like with a 9 because they have been receiving it since till this day actually. They even received some recently in, I think, Animation Chronicles, yeah. Oh yeah. And also Battle of Legend, Crystal Revenge, and Darkwing Blast recently. So, let us go into the next one, a Morphage, which kind of terrified me for a couple of seconds, but I'm fine. I'm not going to go into Ancient because I know that it is, so Ancient Gale will be the last one, and then we'll stop at Anti. What the hell? Angel? I will stop at Anti, honestly. So, a Morphage is Pendulum. I love that. Like Ignites, they related to them. Let's see. So, I don't know this deck that well. Have Pendulum Scales focus on level 4 summons and Pendulum. So it looks like they're based off the 7 Sins, from what I can see. Like just looking at this, I don't see any It's missing one of them. No, wait, so there's... Yeah, no, there's Wrath. Yeah, it's missing one of them, I think. So Greed, I haven't seen these actually before. This is my first time. When you control a Morphage monster, neither player can activate trap cards. All the effects except for a oh, damn. I can see... I don't know, this looks like a fun deck to play against because... It's... I don't know, maybe it's just oppressive, possibly. A Morphage, Envy... While you control, neither player can activate cards as chain link 2 or higher once per turn. They can be quite oppressive once they get their board set up, though. Gluttony. I didn't actually look at their monster effects. I mean, looking at their Pendulum. Neither player can, if Pendulum summon or flip face up, neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck while this card is face up on the field. So basically, it locks you out of your extra deck, which is really, really cool. Then let's see. It's also a Morphage. Okay, so all of these cards look like they block you from the extra deck so far. Yeah, they all block you from the extra deck. Oh, interesting. Hold on, is that all of them or focus on level 4? All of the monsters effects prevent both players from special summon from the... Okay, yeah, so I don't have to look into that. Tributed monster to be tributed during the control stand phase or else they are destroyed. What? Oh, okay, they want you to also tribute to just get rid of or destroy this card. So it's there's a cost to do this. So I think what you can do is from my understanding the main game plan is get them out, and then this card I think is your beat stick because it stops your opponents and you want to go first with this deck, I'm assuming. And since this is a pendulum deck, you can still get those monsters back. And let's say you have 5 monsters, 2 pendulums, you can, I think at best, you have to, once per turn during your standby phase, yeah, so every time it's your turn, you're going to have to give up 1 monster, so you can get them back. So they can last till your opponent's turn and just basically lock them out. So that's not too bad in all honesty. These can be quite oppressive though. If your deck is high, like if you're using Adigneister, if you go second and you're playing Adigneister, you cannot play this. So let's see if this card is Pendulum summoned. Let me see. Your opponent cannot activate. So I think what basically kind of helps this is you can only have 2 Pendulum monsters, so you can't lock your opponent out of everything. Oh damn! And some of these are actual good. They have good, decent enough attack. Wait. Let's see. Neither player can add. So these are just all about oppressing the opponent. Yeah. So from what I can see, the Pendulum effects are fast toolbox strategies to lock down the opponent. This is a lockdown deck, which is actually pretty cool, in all honesty. So if it was played pure, this is still need to read up on Master Rule 4, in all honesty. Oh yeah, no, they don't have a Link monster, so they kind of can't. If they have a Link monster, that's the only way they can actually see some play. But if not, then they only have one. They can't really survive that long. So you can't really tribute. So if you can't tribute, your cards are going to be automatically destroyed. All Muffet have 0 attack or 0 defense. Doom Donuts can decimate an established field. So just having Doom Donuts in a side deck just destroys you. Oh yeah, so just by 1 joke card, it automatically destroys your entire field. There isn't any chance of coming back from that. And besides, these cards, if you have Book of Moon, you can just flip these around and you can continue your play as normal. So it is a lockdown deck in all honesty, but it's also not that strong to be oppressive, or that it makes it impossible for the opponent to play. So, I don't know. It's pretty weak overall, in my opinion. So 11 more Phage. So its speed is... I don't know, does it actually have any spells now that I think about it? Because I don't think I saw any spells. I don't know, if you mix it with... the thing is, this deck can become oppressive depending on if you mix it with these cards over here, because they are related. You just need to find the card which they are related to, add it to the deck, and voila. Wow, this monster is terrifying. This artwork is... Wow! This is some terrifying artwork. Just taking a look at it, it's pretty depressing. It's pretty good actually though. So if you mix it, it's going to be mixed. It's supported by, I don't know, I think I'm going to have to add that at one point. So let me just see, its speed is a 4. It's not too bad, not too great. Its end board is not that great, so I'm going to give it a 4. Its uniqueness though, mechanic, I love it so far. It is a 7. It's oppressiveness / protection. It's a whole oppressive deck, but it's ironically not too oppressive. So can't stop your opponent, but not too bad. So it's a 6. A consistency, considering that if you go for pure Amorphage, like I think there are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 16, 24. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 16, 24. Yeah, you can't really make a full deck with this, so you're gonna have to mix it up with something. Pain, the Imagination, Draco Lord. Okay, so it's supported by a Morph Factor. Damn. So, okay, I didn't see this actually. So, a Morph Factor Pain. You can ritual summon this card. If this card is ritual summon, your opponent skips their next main phase 1, negate the effects of face-ups, fusion synchro while they are on the field. If this card is sent from... Okay, no, you know what? Actually, it can be pretty oppressive if you get this monster out, actually. I'm going to just assume it's part of the deck, so I'm just going to give this a 6, because just by that monster alone, you can, if you can get it out. Its consistency is not too bad, honestly. I'll give it a 7 as well. This card is full of 7s. And overall support, it hasn't been receiving waves from what I can see. Let me see, I just want to see, Amorphous Persona, Morphage Lysis, Morph Factor. Actually, it does have enough support to build a whole full deck around him. Though it's a bit tricky. Let's see. All the Morphage monsters on the field. Okay, that was going to be a nightmare situation. Sorry, just adjusting something. So, a Morph Factor Pain, or Morphage gain 300 up to twice per turn. If an Morph you control is tributed, draw 1 card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, tribute pendulum monsters from your hand or field, so little. Then ritual summon. Oh, wow, it's a field ritual. Interesting. Lysis is, yeah, this art is still terrifying. All monsters in the field except lose 1 attack and defense for each Afro Mage on the field. Yeah, no, I'm not going to calculate that. So 1, 2, 6, so 800 at least. Wait, is that monsters? Yeah. No, wait, I'm counting pendulum, so 600. On the field, if a card in your pendulum zone is destroyed, except during you can place 1. Oh, okay. So, okay, yeah, no, that's pretty good actually. That's some pretty decent protection at least. So, oppressiveness / protection I don't think should be... I don't know, let me see. It can be oppressive and it has some decent protection. So, I'll give it a 6 rather. Consistency is not too bad. Overall support, it has actually a ton of support. So to be quite honest, since it is part of the Draco Overlord, which is also related to Dynamist, although they're not directly related, they can be mixed and matched. So they do have a lot of cards to work from, but again, it's a long story, so I'm just going to give it a 9. Ugh. Okay, again, I just need to look deeper into some of these rulings, because again, this is just new. So Ancient, I'm going to assume that it is part of the, let me see, it's a sub-archetype, okay, called it. So Ancient Gear, and then Ancient Warriors, is that also a sub-archetype? No, it's just a normal archetype, they just didn't add a card art for it. So let me see, the last 3 archetypes I'm doing are these 2, and then I'm done, because my throat can't handle much more. But I am looking forward to, but still though, I'm not planning to stop this anytime soon. I think Aqua Actress is an anime archetype only. Well, wait, I'm just going to jump here real quick. I'm just, let me just see. Aqua Actress, no, they actually are an actual archetype. Okay, so that surprised me, no. Let's see. Okay, so Ancient Gear. Okay, I actually played Ancient Gear quite a bit. I haven't played too much. Unfortunately, my experience limited to, Duel Links. Although they do it justice with some of its skills. And I'm even going to add it here. So this is a 7. Gear without the skill, they're pretty slow. In all honesty, I'm also working with skillless, by the way. I think I should mention that. So Ancient Gear is, in my opinion, can be quite slow, but its power is quite devastating. Its mechanic is not really that unique. It's just what is it? Beat down at the end of the day by negating traps, and yeah, that's what I consider by by not allowing you to activate traps in response to anything. Oppressiveness, I suppose they have some form of protection. Consistency, they can be quite consistent if you get polymerization in your hand. And then overall, they have been receiving the support. Yeah, they've been receiving quite a lot of support, so I'd give it a 7. Fantastic. So then, let me see. Ancient Gear over here is 12. Ancient Gear. So its speed also, I haven't played it too much in the TCG. That's the problem. So I'm gonna have to go off of let me see. Ancient Gear, tribute summons, fusion summons, figured. Prevent without being feared due to prevalence of monster effects that can be activated. New monsters also prevent their activation. They aren't muted. Yeah, but they do allow actually for special summoning real quickly. So let me see. For the support Gear Town, easy tribute summon, for fusion summon, Ancient Gear Hunting Ground. They also got into effect damage as well. They also got into the gadget series, but I'm not going to count them just yet. Although I do know that the Dragon's Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon does mention them, but I'm not going to do that just for clarity's sake, just for ease. I don't know. I'm going to have to review that because gear is just gadgets is just messing with me a bit. So I don't know. It's a bit it's just a bit tricky. I suppose they have. I think they have better speed in the TCG, and their power is still pretty good. Again, this is pure archetype. I think I should really mention that. The mechanic is still again not that unique. Hold on, I just want to be sure that I gave it. Yeah, I gave it a 3 earlier. Their protection is just during the battle phase, but the opponent doesn't. If it's outside of the battle phase, then I suppose then they can be screwed over. Let me just see. I just want to see the boss monster real quick. Extra deck fusion, Megaton Golem, Ultimate Ancient Gear, Chaos I think is the latest. Chimera Tech. Yeah, no. Yeah, it only when they're being attacked. Doesn't mean they can't be responded to. Yeah, no. Let me see. Must be fusion summoned. Unaffected. The opponent's monsters cannot activate the effects. Yeah, this just also blocks him during that phase. So yeah, no. I'm just gonna be entirely honest. Their consistency is fine as is, and their overall support has been in the OCG. Oh yeah, crap. I forgot there's a difference. They've been receiving crap ton of this, and yeah, they've actually not. It's fine in Duel Links. I would still give it a 7 in Duel Links. Now then. Ancient Warriors. Yo, this is really biting into me. Ah, yes. The Ancients. I have zero clue what they are. I'm not too experienced with this deck. But I'm just going to go off my own idea, but it's just to give a rough start. Someone, if you're watching this video when I upload it to YouTube, please let me know. What do you personally think the value should be on some of these decks, because again, this isn't final. This is meant to be. This is going to see some change. Okay, Ancient Warriors. I do know about their boss monster. Romance of the Three Sagas. I'm not going to read into that just yet. Okay, so let me see. There is. I think this is the newest card, Rebellious. I don't know, this archetype focuses on summoning more than one Ancient Warriors, as some monsters can only activate their effect if another Ancient Warrior monster activates the effect. A continuous spell. Ancient Warrior Saga Sun Liu also encourages playing Ancient Warriors multiple attributes. I think this is their boss monster. Nope, this is not the one I was thinking of, damn it. There was a link that is really fantastic. I'm just trying to look for it real quick. Double Dragon Rolls, I think it was. This I see is used quite a bit. So all ancient warriors, monsters you control gain 500 attack. You can only use the following effects once per turn. If discarding something, you can add one ancient, so quick search. And then you can quick effects, send one card from your hand if you disagree with it, and target one face up your opponent controls, return to the hand. So a bounce for discard. Not bad. So I do not know how to do this. I'm most likely going to come back to this and give a better judgment on it. But until then, for now, I'm going to go off my half-assed assumptions. So, Rebellious Liu Feng, I know, swaps some sides from time to time during turns. You can only special summon once per turn during the main phase. You can destroy the one face with the highest attack. Also, you cannot activate monsters once per turn during the main phase if your opponent controls a monster highest attack on the field. This thing is a coward. It goes to the highest attack. So, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword here. Once per turn, you can destroy one face of monster your opponent controls the highest attack. I suppose that's to counter it. It doesn't say, I think maybe it means your main phase, so to get this card out is not too bad. But again, I don't know too much about this card, so I can't really make a proper decision on it yet, and I can feel my focus waning, so I think I'm just gonna call it an end here. Hold on, wait. Just reading this. Conjugated. Nah. Okay, so I can't do too much on Ancient Warriors because I don't understand the deck enough to actually make pass-fair judgments on it. So, I don't know. If someone manages to see this video and has an opinion on it, please feel free to comment it. If I am uploading this to YouTube again. If not, then I'll just have to learn it myself, which will be a bit of a pain, but it's fine. At least I get to play the new deck. And yeah, that is it for the stream, actually. So, this is the current list. I think I'm going to save this as a VOD. So this is the current list of all the cards that are here. You can pause at any moment just to tell me, or to if you have a problem with anything, leave a comment, and then I will revise the decision. Again, this is based on pure archetypes only, and I know some archetypes do require an extra card for a generic card just for consistency boosting. And again, this format I want to make is pretty new. I still need to make a video just describing the rules and make it more structured, but other than that, yeah. Let's see. Just want to scroll through all of these. But I don't know. I think I'll try to return to this next day. Tomorrow maybe. Definitely. No, not tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I think I'm quite busy. I'll return to it when I can return to it, honestly. But I'll definitely return to it sometime this week. And yeah. Again, these are the rules. You can see them anytime during the stream. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and yeah.